Hello and welcome to Sidequest. This is our weekly video game show here at Geekverse. I'm your host, Dylan Muss, and I have with me the new ocular Kirklin Patzer. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing all right. It was kind of a manic Monday, but no, I'm doing much better now. It was one of those Mondays I just wanted to be over, and then it was just like big ordeal with traffic on my way home, so it took me like an hour and a half, and like I already had to get groceries, and I like just happened to not eat anything on my lunch, so I was like extra heated and just hungry. But when I got home, showered, full belly, I just felt like so much better. So yeah, I'm happy to be here and cap off the night with you here on a little Sidequest episode. So.
A little nightcap. Also, weird vibe for me. So I had dinner, and I don't nap or get sleepy in the afternoon or whatever before dinner time usually, but I don't know what it was. I was maybe a little tryptophan snuck its way into my chicken tonight, but I was feeling a little sleepy. I was watching Ed Wood, a good 1994 movie here, and I was looking at the clock. I like just finished my meal. It was like 7. I'm like, hey, I got like an hour before Sidequest. I'm just gonna rest these little eyes here, and then I just like passed out for half an hour pretty much.
Nice.
Wake up a little bit, check my phone. Kirklin's like, hey, do you want to start a bit early? I'm like, I'm like a firefighter just flying down the fire pole there. I'm like, let me get in the car. Let's do this. So
that's impressive.
Yeah,
that was like 9 minutes. I feel from the start time.
Yeah, maybe
that
my
you
math's
gave
a
me.
little off, but I think that just goes to show how I'm in a slightly foggy state of mind, which I think is so. We'll see if both of our weird setups leading into this lead to a different vibe in terms of the side questing. But gonna be a fun episode talking about the games we've been playing, of course, and mostly talking about Ghost of Yotei. Got its big state of play showcase thing, showing off a good amount of information on that game, which I think we were both looking forward to. And then we're talking about like a video game backlogs, like a wish list, like how we keep track of things a little bit, and take a look at Kirklin's Steam wish list, which I'm curious to see what that is looking like. But let's get right into it and talk about some of the games we've been playing. How about you kick it off, Kirklin? What do you got over on your side of the board?
I don't have anything too exciting this week. This past weekend when I had some free time, actually, last 2 weekends now, been going very hard on Total War Warhammer. It's in
Very good.
It's like the spice, the full peak of my spice on a Warhammer campaign. I started a new High Elves campaign, the race I probably played the most, and it is just so fun.
Not the Dark Elves, the High Elves.
Yeah, the High Elves are like the most vanilla race, I would say.
Okay.
Like it's the one they usually recommend. It was my first race that I played, so naturally that's just the one I spent the most time on. But
Gotcha.
I think last time I was on and talking about it was when they had that big update and they kind of rechanged some of the AI. And since then, like I've put in a lot of hours and kind of experienced the new patch, and man, like it totally has changed a lot of the way that like certain minor factions, maybe more factions that would have been wiped out like really early on, like they just have like way just better survivability amongst like the stronger races. So it's been really interesting leading into the end game and just seeing kind of who's alive. And on the previous patches, it was always like very like familiar faces would be in the late game, like they would just naturally progress to their empires just being like really strong, or maybe they're just in a really good start location, so they just become very strong really quickly. And just like coming to certain areas, be like, oh, this guy's still alive, and then just seeing like a I don't know, let's say Thorgrim, like one of the dwarves, and it's just like, oh, he is like completely wiped out. Like that, this is just so bizarre. He's always in the end game, so just to not see him there has been really interesting. And some of the AI behavior has been like very different too, because I've just played it so much. Like I can usually, okay, my army's this strong, looking at this army, like I can kind of predict what the AI is naturally going to do. Like they probably wouldn't attack me here, but like some of just the strategy change is just so bizarre. Like it's tough for me to predict exactly what they've been doing or are going to be doing. So it's it's been like just really fresh. I feel like jumping into it again, even though I played it so many times. But
light is mine over there.
Little door closed there. But no, it's been really fun. And yeah, no, I've been going really hard on that one. So
Nice.
I'll probably keep going on the current campaign that I'm on, and then I don't know if I'll jump onto like a new one right away, just because I've been going so hard on this specific campaign. And then when I I don't know, little hiatus, but then when I come back, it's all fresh again, jumping into a new faction. So yeah, shouts out to Warhammer, and actually like fixing their AI. They had an announcement that their next DLC, I think it's called like Tides of Change or something like that. They decided to basically not release it now. It's going to be delayed because they just don't feel like it's to the standard that they would want a DLC to be released at, which is interesting because I feel like the last couple DLCs have just been getting like a lot of flack because they're like $32 or something, and they like just don't really provide much. Whereas back in the Warhammer 2 days, like their one DLC, I think it was like $14 on release, and you just got like double the amount of content that you would have gotten comparatively to like what the most recent DLCs have been. So
inflation.
Is that just a stock standard thing in the industry these days?
I feel like that's probably the case. Like everything just takes longer to make. At least what these dirty developers are claiming. So they give you less and they make it cost more, right?
Yeah, no, I guess so, because the last, I don't think I've gotten any of the most recent DLCs actually since they've been in Warhammer 3, just because they've all been in that price range of like $33, and even the ones that I picked up back in the day on Warhammer 2, like I would get them on the discount, like winter sales or Steam sales. So I don't think I ever paid full price for a DLC in the game, but even then, just like what you're getting and a lot of the love that they're giving to certain maybe races on the like the DLC combo packs or whatever, like they aren't really races that I would necessarily be playing. But I don't know, there's some hum and haw about potential reworking with the High Elves. Of course, I just mentioned I've been playing their campaign there, but that would always be really cool just because I played them so much. So anytime you're kind of switching up a faction's campaign mechanics, it just makes it a little bit fresh. So so that one's going to be delayed, but I think there's also going to be potential like Siege reworking with that patch rework, and that's been like the biggest complaint I would say across the board when it comes to I don't know about all Total War games, but definitely Warhammer. Like the sieges are just so frustrating to play, and it's just like a slog. Sometimes they're like 32 minutes, and you just lose like your whole army. And you're like, well, that was awesome. Like I just completely stunted my growth on my campaign map. So hopefully they make them a little bit more exciting. They are better than they were in Warhammer 2, but like that's not saying that much. Warhammer 2, they were awful. They were absolutely atrocious to play through. So shouts out to Warhammer.
Nice. What was the other game that you've been playing lately?
Just quick, college football. Shouts out. I've been going ham on college football lately. I was just talking to a couple of people at work about football, and we're getting closer to the season. And I got to see you in person a couple of days ago. That was really nice. And Travis and I were talking about football again. I'm like, man, I'm just so ready. I'm doing my research on fantasy as well, and just getting all excited for the season. So I've been just spamming that, and then little minor thing I was going to shout out. It's not really a video game, but have you ever heard of? I don't even know what you would call them specifically. It's like a sticker pack, but it would be like an art piece, and like the thing I can compare it to the most is when you're like designing a house on Animal Crossing. Like the layout just looks very similar, and you just get like a little sticker pack and you just populate it, and then you just like make this little like 3-dimensional. I'll send you a photo of one that's complete after this, so you can get a little bit more context.
Little houses, pretty much, like just.
It's fun? It's like a puzzle, like a brain game essentially, but like you're just kind of following an outline, and then it's just like good brain game to like just. I don't know, just calm the brain, calm the nerve. So I was going hard on one of those this last weekend, and it's not really a video game, but like it is a game that I was playing. So I wanted to shout those out because it was just it's really cute and wholesome, and like the little art on it is pretty awesome. Shay found them online. I think they're like $5 each or something. But I'll definitely send you a photo afterwards because it totally just reminded me of like this is just Animal Crossing, but like not video game version. But it's pretty cool. I'd never seen something like that before. So
nice, that's good. I was gonna ask you too. Like, I feel like there's been a few games this year that you've been plugging through, like the Souls ones, and obviously like finish off Stellar Blade and stuff. But like, I don't know, what's on your list right now to go back to? Is there anything that you're trying to finish up, roll credits on, or are you kind of like put everything behind you and you're just waiting for the next big thing? Is there anything like coming out soon that you're looking forward to? Like, It seems like you're in a bit of a limbo. I mean, you're also kind of just playing the classics, which is
the fallback games. Yeah, that's always what gets me. But no, I definitely want to roll credits on Elden Ring, especially with just how hard I was going on it. Got to like the Volcano Manor area, and I just felt like I was just beating my head against the wall, and then like wanting to like backtrack. But like I don't know though, because it's hard to tell like exactly where I am in that game, because I spent like so much time in Caelid like initially when I was there.
Right.
I felt like I did everything I kind of could there, and then started going to like the Dragon Barrow area, and I'm like, this is horrible. Like I'm just getting one shot by these dragons. Don't go here. And then that's when I got into like more like kind of near the capital area of Lindale. I haven't gotten to like the snow giant, or not the fire giant, like in that area yet. I was talking to Tyler kind of about just comparing notes, because he was on an Elden Ring journey also. And so no, it like it's been fun talking to him about it, because we were just like both super hype on at the same time. But to that, in that same swing of a sentence, like him and I have also just been getting on the Warhammer hype together. So I feel like we're just like following each other on our game progressions right now. But no, Elden Ring I definitely do want to roll credits on. And I mean, when I got that game, I got it with like the DLC also, so that's just a whole other area of that game I haven't even touched yet. And then I mean, I did like, and then to answer your question with anything I'm like got my sights on, I think I'm going to do the same thing I did with Death Stranding 1 to Death Stranding 2. I mean, I haven't even finished Death Stranding 1, but I'll probably touch that game in a few years. I'm sure I will touch it, but I'm in no rush to get on there. I didn't think I was really going to be getting a Ghost game, but god damn, that State of Play was kind of winning me over, so maybe we'll talk about that when we get there. But other than that, like, I mean, there might be something that I'm forgetting. Oh, yeah, no, I was just going to say Ghost again, but I feel like there's no other game on my radar right now that's like day one buy, unless I'm forgetting something. But so yeah, and then in terms of, I don't know, I feel like the games that I do have on the go, like, I mean, I haven't played Dark Souls 1 in a long time. I think I was in the Crystal Caves area. I don't know. I can't remember now. It's been a while. It was just probably one of those things that I just put it down, and then it's just like, oh yeah, no, I'll get back to that, and I get back to that, and then I'm thinking about where I'm at, and it's like, oh, do I really want to do that right now? Not really. And then of course that's when I booted up Elden Ring, and going back to Dark Souls when you can't jump, like that's a whole different ball game. But I don't know. Elden Ring would probably be the biggest priority right now, especially now that I've like kind of told myself like, you'll get to Death Stranding 2 when you when you get there.
Deep in it in terms of like the overworld map, I would say, based on what you told me.
I think
there,
so. Yeah. And like as soon as my YouTube algorithms give me some random Elden Ring lore video, I'll probably just get hyped on the game again and then jump back in there, because that's usually what happens. I feel like my YouTube algorithms kind of gear me with with where I'm going, or maybe just my hype levels for in real life things.
Google decides what games you play.
It is really random though. Like if I'm watching like Dune, for example, like just the idea of like these factions, even though there is like Dune video game strategy games, I'm just like, I just want to jump into Warhammer and play as if I'm watching Fade Routha on the
I think it's more so that like 90% of things just make you want to play Total War. Is that not the more accurate way?
That is true. I feel like I'd be playing that game even more if I had like a solid rig that like, it would just load into games super fast. I wouldn't be crashing, like beautiful frames, maximum graphics. I'd probably be in there every day.
Into Zomboid again here.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I randomly saw someone on my my Steam page, or my friends list, sorry, just jumping into it again. I'm like, man, I got to get back in that game. And I imagine they've had quite a few of updates since last time we played it. Like the big thing right now is, I think it's called Build 42 or Build 43. That's like the next massive update that the game's going to be getting that like reworks, I think, everything coming down to like skills, cooking, trapping, gunplay, like everything I think is reworked in this Build 43 or whatever it is. And that's in like unstable version right now, so you can kind of play it on like the betas server of the game, but it isn't full release. So once that happens, we'll have to jump back in there. And hell yeah. Nut up or shut up. I'm totally.
I was going to say like maybe around the Halloween time, but if the Ghost comes out like October 1st, that might be a bad idea, because then we might get distracted with Ghost. But
it might be a while on that Build 43. Also, I'll keep my a finger on the pulse and let you know kind of what.
I mean, the base, I have barely even scratched the surface of the base game, so
that's true.
I'm locked and loaded. But one thing before I mention my games here, which is going to be quick, but I wanted to do a little PSA, and I did this in the Discord server. But John Wick Hex, which is the kind of strategy sort of John Wick game, I guess is the best way to describe it. They just announced that the game is being delisted in a couple days. So if you're listening to this the day it drops, like July 17th, it is being delisted, probably because the license expired, which sucks. The game's not even that old. And I think it's the only John Wick video game that exists. So that's too bad. You won't be able to buy that game or play it unless you torrent it, I guess, something like that. I really love it. I think it's a really great, interesting, weird kind of game. Decent story too. Cool aesthetic. Like as far as someone who's played like a million tactics games in my life, I think this one does something different and unique. I think it's like $20 or something. So I would recommend people to pick it up because if you buy it, you still have access to it. You can re-download it and play it forevermore. But yeah, it's going to be delisted soon. So go check that out. I also did, when we did the John Wick retrospective, I did like a little solo 20-minute long episode talking about the game. So if you want to hear more about it before you make that decision, you could check that out. That still should be at least in the Sidequest feed. If you can't find it on the regular Geekverse feed, it will be on the Sidequest one still. Just search John Wick in there and you'll find it, or YouTube, of course. So yeah, you just little PSA. It's a cool game. People should check it out. And then yeah, as far as my games, really not much new. Just one new thing. I'm mostly just playing more Death Stranding 2. I've finished the game. Of course, we did the spoiler discussion on it, but I'm still building out my highways, getting my collection level up. I'm going to try and get all the trophies. The only one we'll see how it goes, like, because doing some of those grinding levels to get, like, that max level out on all the people takes a long time. So I don't know, might not do that, but the other, like, kind of unique trophies, I want to do all that stuff. So still plugging my way through that one, although there'll probably be sidelined pretty quick when Donkey Kong comes out this week. And then the one I mentioned a couple weeks ago, Squeak Cross, Home Squeak Home. Speaking of Animal Crossing house builder things, still playing a lot of that because it's funny that you talked about that thing that was like a paper version of Animal Crossing, and this is like a video game version of what you described pretty much. So it's like this weird layer of just just calming, filling in boxes to like get furniture to fill out your house. And I got like another room now, so I have 2 rooms I can decorate at a time, which is great. So. Yeah, still that's just like a great kind of somewhat mindless, somewhat puzzly, brainy thing to do. So that one. And then the new thing that I've been playing is a very old game, one of the oldest games. But I've been playing a little bit of Dragon Quest 1, the original Dragon Quest game.
What did that release on originally?
Originally it was on the NES, only in Japan, and it was called. I was looking into this. It was called Dragon Warrior originally, and then they renamed it because it was only in Japan. Then when they wanted to bring it to North America, they renamed it to Dragon Quest, and then released like a remake of it on the SNES. So the first time it was available in North America was on the SNES, but it was like a remake of the NES game. And the version I'm playing it is, I believe, a port of that SNES version on the Switch, which is kind of a weird way to break it all down. But it's like $4 on the Switch. It was on sale recently. And I was like, I like Dragon Quest. I mean, I've only played like a little bit, but I like it. I want to get more into the series. And I was looking up on how long to beat. Apparently, the first Dragon Quest game is like 8 hours long, which is like, whoa, for a JRPG.
Call of Duty campaign.
That sounds amazing. That sounds like, I'm used to Dragon Quest campaigns being like 80 to 100 hours. So I'm like, okay, this seems like a good opportunity to jump in and check this out. So I picked up 1 and 2. I haven't checked out 2 yet, although they look pretty much the exact same visually, so I'm sure they just have different mechanics, and I think the second one is quite a bit longer. They didn't keep it short for very long. They're just like, let's make this as long as we can. But yeah, it's been a weird time. It's not really a super enjoyable game, to be honest, but I think it's really interesting to go back to it because people always point to it as being so influential. I was like, this and like the original Final Fantasies kind of dictated what JRPGs become, and I think even Dragon Warrior at the time, or Dragon Quest, even like maybe predated some of that, or like was even more influential than Final Fantasy originally. And then Final Fantasy kind of has become that #1 JRPG series over the time, and has had more releases and more consistent releases, but both of them have like spin-offs out the wazoo. Both of them have like the pixel art era, the early 3D era, or I don't know I guess there's probably a bit of like a earlier 3D era for Dragon Quest, and then obviously into like the more modern games, which are very, very gorgeous, and different things they're going for. Final Fantasy, hyper realistic, dark tonally, whereas Dragon Quest has always kind of been more lighthearted, at least visually, and like the tone of it feels that way, even if the story can be pretty dire at certain times. But yeah, this game, like I said, it's an old ass game, very interesting to go back to it. Like, you don't have a party in this game, you're just one character, so that, like, in terms of combat, it's a lot simpler, and so far I've only ever gotten into battles with one enemy at the same time. So it feels a bit like that's what Earthbound is like as well. And so it feels like almost more intimate in a way. You're just like one-on-one versus a bat, and you're just doing this over and over again. It still has the kind of goofy enemy designs, maybe a little less goofy than the other Dragon Quest games I've played, but still like they have rinky-dink silly little faces on them. Combat's very simple so far. I'm curious to see how much it evolves. I don't think it will evolve much, and even you get like a world map, and even in like the 2 hours that I've played, hour or two that I've played, I've pretty much traversed like at least 50% of the map at this point. Like there's certain dungeons I haven't cleared yet, but you can pretty much access most of the map just like pretty quickly. Like it would probably only take you 5 minutes to walk from like the complete left, complete right side of the map if there wasn't any battles that stopped you on the way there. So it's like, a pretty small world. Although when you go, there's like tons and tons of towns, and each one of them have like tons of NPCs, 10, 15, 20 NPCs, and you can talk to all of them. They all talk in like a old Shakespearean, like, old ye battle on the old ford, and like none of it makes any sense, and I can't follow what these people are saying. I'm like, this is complete nonsense, which I don't know how long the series does that for, because the ones I've played have goofy dialogue, but not like that. Like you can at least follow it a little bit more. And yeah, so it's a weird time to go back to it. I will say too, like I in my mind, like Dragon Quest, so beautiful, great pixel art, or great, more so even in the 3D, like the crazy enemy designs. Obviously, like Akira Toriyama like did a lot of the designs for them and stuff like that. This game is not very good looking, and I wonder if part of that is like the weird translation between the SNES to NES version. Maybe the Switch version I'm playing is not what it looked like on the SNES, exactly 1-to-1. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it looks kind of really bad, honestly. And the colors are there. I like the nice color palette, but it just doesn't really have like a distinct style. And I think because of that dialogue too, it does feel a little more generic than I kind of would expect for Dragon Quest. But of course, obviously it makes sense. Like the only one mainline game I've played other than this one was like 8. So obviously I've skipped many iterations of the series to get to where it is, and I think where it really found a really unique and cool and great style. And I feel like it obviously, it's hard to have that from the very first game. But I do feel like these games seem to be a little more iterative, whereas Final Fantasy kind of reinvents itself with every single game. Not that I've played a lot of Final Fantasy either, but yeah, I'm excited to check out more of the series. I probably will try my best to finish this game, even if it requires a bit of a guide, just because it is so short. And I think that'd be interesting to see it start to finish, and then jump into 2 and see what that's like. Because yeah, I've been really meaning to get into this series, and 8 is good. I probably should whip up the 3DS and play some more of that, because that game is really cool. But yeah, kind of fun for the history lesson to go back and check out the game that started it all, and that really started off a lot of JRPGs in general. So it's cool, and I like that it's just easily accessible and like $4 on the Switch. That's pretty cool.
You haven't played the original Final Fantasy, have you?
I don't think I've ever played a single mainline Final Fantasy game.
Oh wow!
It is a huge blind spot for me, and honestly, JRPGs are in general like it's not like the turn-based combat in those kinds of games usually doesn't do it for me. I love Chrono Trigger, but I think that game takes enough swings and isn't too long and has like great story and characters as well. So I don't know, maybe if I don't know what the best place to start is these days with Final Fantasy, but all those games have like the pixel remasters on the Switch. I have wishlisted all of them. Speaking of wishlists, a little bit early on here. So when the deal is right, I will pick up a lot of them, and I want to, even if I don't finish them, just play them for 5-6 hours, just really get a vibe for what they're like. But yeah, that's a huge blind spot for me, is that genre in general, but specifically Final Fantasy is embarrassingly a blind spot for me for sure. I can't play every game,
No, absolutely not. That'd be ridiculous. I mean, I feel like I'm just curious about basically the runtime on those older JRPG games, because always think of the genre being, like you said, like basically 80 hours, like minimum. Like it just seems like they're so long, some of the stories, but like, I mean, back in the day, those little game cartridges, like they didn't have a lot of space on them. So like, I'm curious how long you could really make them, considering like how much data and memory you'd have to throw on those little cards.
I'm guessing that's probably where like random battles comes in. You're kind of doing fighting the same enemies over and over again, and that's where it can like really save some memory by not even like having sprites in the overworld, right? Like you just bump into them like when you're walking through a bush or something. So How Long to Beat puts the first Final Fantasy at 15 hours to beat the main story, and only 19 for a completionist playthrough to do everything. So under 20 hours, and then I'm sure just like Dragon Quest, it kind of gets longer every time around, and then until it caps off at like 60 hours, and it probably averages around there or something. I guess that's a lie. I have played a little bit of Final Fantasy. I picked up maybe the first one, somewhere one of those first 3 or 4 on like the Switch, or not the Switch, the Wii eShop back in the day. Actually, I remember playing through some of those a little bit, but never really got into them in a big way. That I couldn't really remember many details about them, obviously, because I totally forgot I even did play them a little bit. So yeah, that's definitely a series that I want to check out. It's like, man, I don't know. Do I just go to Age of 7? Do I do 7 remake and just skip past all this stuff? Do I just play like 15? Because I know you've enjoyed that one. Just go right to that one. Like, do I just wait for a right sale? I know a couple of them bumped around on Game Pass, like 10 or 10.2 or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. Do I just jump into one of those? So I feel like at this point, it's kind of impossible to get it right. So I might as well just play any kind of like Resident Evil. I've been playing them in the most random machete order of all time, and maybe I should do the same thing with Final Fantasy.
I think it works. Like whatever you're drawn to, I feel like the entry point can kind of be anywhere because those games.
Yeah.
At least for the Final Fantasy, in my experience, I mean, I have played a Final Fantasy, one of the earlier ones on an early console. I don't remember what console it was, but it was at my uncle's house, and I like started up this game with like the limited time I had on my stay, thinking I'm gonna get far in this Final Fantasy game. And I'm like, what is this combat? I hate this. It's so boring. But no, like for 15, I don't know if you knew this, but there's like a movie prequel that was released. It's like a 3D rendering movie with what's his name? Aaron Paul, is that his name from Breaking Bad? He's like the protagonist.
That, yeah.
And I don't know. I just got really into that one. But I like at the start, it's like great Final Fantasy game for beginners or fans of the series. So to me, they seem kind of anthology-esque. Like you don't necessarily have to play previous ones to understand what's going on, but I barely even understood what was going on, and I watched a movie leading into it. There's chickens that you ride on, and there's royals and
chocobos.
Chocobos.
Even I know that.
I'm vanilla. Yeah.
I think I've been telling myself that when we have the release date of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, the final part, I want to go through and play those first 2 leading into it, and I should probably give myself some space so I don't get like totally burnt out on it by the time the third one comes around. But I think I want to be there for that finale when that's coming out, and want to be there like day one, play it with everyone else. And so once again, those are things I have wish listed. I think I have 7 just through like PS Plus, like one of the redemption games or something at some point.
Yeah, I definitely have one. I don't think
there's really been a good sale on Remake or Rebirth, like the Part 2 yet, but that game only came out last year, I think, right? So yeah, it's definitely on the list, and I think that'll be if anything, probably a good jumping in point, and then just pick up these pixel ones randomly, these old ones, and kind of just jump in and play them on the go. Classic Switch style. I think that'll be a good way to kind of experience this series.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I think that's it for the games we have been playing. So maybe we can take a quick break here before we get into the great Ghost of Tsushima. I will thank our Patreon producers: Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Superbad Mike, TGGL69, Jeremy Renner, Charlie Rendell, and Cocktail Clay. Thank you all for keeping the lights on over here, allowing me to pick up Dragon Quest 1 on the Switch and talk about it here on the show. What is their show out? GV Day is August 9th, this Saturday, where we're doing a celebration of the 10th year of Geek First. We're going to do all sorts of fun celebrations. It'll be a really fun time. We're doing a trivia, so if anyone wants to join, hit up Patreon. You can join. You can be on my team, the winning team. We won last year. We're going to win again. I don't even know who's on my team yet, but I know we're going to win. So if you want the chance to join my team, please do so. And what else? You guys just did a review for Superman. We got Fantastic Four coming out soon, so we're going to do some predictions for that.
Jurassic World also on the feeds.
Jurassic World is out there. We have Dexter going on a weekly basis. So it's a good time, a good, busy, like classic, a lot of summer blockbusters, that sort of season. And it's just a good time. So make sure to subscribe to all those feeds to get access to all that. Anything else worthy of a shout out here, Kirklin?
Nope, you nailed it. You got it.
Nailed it. You love to hear it. Okay, let's take a quick ad break. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. A few days ago, Sony dropped a state of play for Ghost of Yotei, which is coming out October 2nd. So, I guess just going back through the history books a little bit, this is kind of an interesting. It's funny. It's an interesting little 1-2 punch of like Death Stranding 2 just came out. And I feel like back when the first Death Stranding came out, that came out in 2019. Then a few months later, we got like the showcase for what Ghost of Tsushima even was. We were all still very confused at what the actual game was. We saw it was beautiful, but like based on the trailers, we like just couldn't tell like what is the gameplay of this thing actually like. When they got that showcase that really showed off everything about the game, and they were all pretty hyped on it, picked it up and played the heck out of that. And so I feel like we're, the timeline's a little bit off, but it's a similar thing. If Death Stranding 2 just came out, we got this showcase here, and then in a few months we're going to actually get the game. And yeah, I think I've been maybe on the fence a little bit about this game in general, and not for any particular reason, but just like, I don't know, how much evolution is there going to be from that first one? Like, I'm sure it will be a good time, but like games are just so damn expensive these days that I'm trying to be more selective with the things that I pick up. And also, another thing that I think really made Ghost of Tsushima like worth coming back to, and like it was worth the purchase in the first place, but the thing that really solidified that was when they just dropped Legends, which was not even really known about right when it was first announced. And we still don't have the information for Ghost of Yotei if that is a mode. If they said tomorrow, oh, by the way, we didn't put this in the showcase, but Legends 2 is in there, I would think it would be a day one for me. But right now I'm still a little bit on the fence, but I think this showcase was really great. It showed off a lot of really fun things for me, and I'm a lot more excited for the game than I have been. I think the story is the thing that's kind of the least exciting for me. Just the story setup here we have is like extremely basic and uninteresting. But I came to Ghost of Tsushima the first time more for the world and the combat and the setting and just the vibes and the beauty and the music and all that fun stuff. Less so the story, but it did still have a pretty good story. So I don't know, where are you at with this one? It sounds like you are pretty hot on it, given what you said earlier in the episode.
Yeah, the charcoals are still burning. For me at least. I feel like I'm right there with you where I was on the fence on just this game in general. Not in the sense of like, oh, why do they even do this? It's so stupid. Like, the first one sold well. I understand why they'd make a sequel to continue that on, but just for my own hype, like I wanted a samurai ninja game. That's what I was seeking out. Ghost arrived. If it was Assassin's Creed first, that probably would have been my game that I latched onto. But, Ghost of Tsushima beat them to the punch, and I fucking love that game. It was so beautiful. I love getting immersed in it. From that first showcase, like you just said, like I was so hyped on it, and that was a day one. I remember looking at the countdown, waiting for it to release at 9 p.m. I was just there on the couch. Shay was next to me, getting ready for me to just jump right into this ninja world. And yeah, I absolutely love that game. Played the living day out of it, and I felt like just really attached to that specific story, like Jin's story, the betrayal, and just all of that. Lose my horse, like all of these emotions attached to that game. I just felt like really attached to that story. So when I saw this new protagonist on the cover for Ghost of Yotei, which I now know that's how you say it. I thought it was Yotei this whole time, and then the gentleman in the video, the Ghost of Yotei. I'm like, oh,
Yotei.
okay.
I don't know what I've been saying, to be honest, but Yotei. Okay, I'll try to remember that.
Yeah. I was like, she's probably cool. She's probably a badass. She probably has a cool betrayal story also. But like, I just felt so attached to Jin. So it's like, am I gonna get that same? I don't know, that same spark out of it. And I agree. Like the story that they showed with, I think it's the 7 Yotei. It's like, okay, those are your 7 targets essentially for the game. Like it's just very video gamey in that sense. Which
we
like
kind of got that before with another trailer. Like I didn't feel like there was anything new to that premise added here, and I was maybe expecting. I don't know. It's like it's a samurai revenge story. Like I don't know what kind of complexity I'm expecting, I guess, but yeah, I didn't feel like there was anything new on the story. It didn't seem to be the focus of today's episode.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It was more so based on everything else with the like the new directorial style, whatever you want to call it, the additions to the Kurosawa mode or gameplay, different like arsenal things. I feel like a lot of quality of life things they showcased in here also. But the one thing that did grip me in on the story, even though it is a very basic setup, is just kind of highlighting, like it was really quick, but they showed, I think it was when they're showcasing the Japanese voiceover, like with the mouth dubbing, which I can't remember. I don't think they had that in the first game, right? It was
they did not.
Japanese.
It was really weird.
So that's a really cool addition. I'm glad they made that choice. But just that scene between our protagonists and it looked like one of the Yotei or something, like this
The
man
snake,
that
I think. Is what
yeah,
it is,
okay,
yeah.
what a great name. Very generic, but I love it. Yeah, no, they're just like staring at each other, and just like the voice delivery in the Japanese language with the music, and just like just the wind flowing, and just the intensity of that scene. I was like getting roped in. I'm like, man, this is such a basic setup, but like the actual acting of the characters and everything just looks so good, and I was getting goosebumps. So I remember the first game had so many of those moments. Whether it's the first time that you draw your Uchigatana, that was just such a great scene with the music. The music is
Mm-hmm.
always just such a
Music's
a
amazing.
kicker of boosting those scenes also. So I definitely got roped in on, even if the story is super basic, everything else that they showcase here really had me. And yeah, I think some like across the board, I imagine it's just going to be a step up in the same sense of like how Spider-Man 2 was just across the board a step up from Spider-Man 1. Like, okay, they didn't
Mm-hmm.
reinvent the wheel, but like the wheel was working pretty damn good the first time around, so like that's okay. A couple surprises in the sense of like how big your arsenal is and how you can just like quickly change that around. The purist and like immersion purist in me is like, oh, that's so stupid. It's like GTA pulling out your rocket launcher right out of your pocket. But like for gameplay wise, it's probably super fun. And someone who's as indecisive on like leaning on a specific play style as I am, I feel like that'll actually work out really well. Switching from a spear to like a the Odachi, I think it was like the big sword. So yeah, no, I think it looked really good. And yeah, no, I don't think I have any negatives to really mention
Mm-hmm.
here. So, um, yeah, I still think the first state of play from the first game was better in the sense of like this is the first time we're seeing any type of gameplay. But it sure looked beautiful in there. And uh, another big surprise for me was the addition. Can't remember what the other, because there's the Kurosawa mode, the Watanabe mode. That was the one I got really hyped for, which is the director of Samurai Champloo, which has just some of the best OST
Is that
across
like
the board.
the lo-fi
Yeah,
beats to Ghost
with
to
like
kind of
the
thing?
hip
Yeah.
hop beats, like
I
man,
love that. I
yeah,
I will use the heck out of those.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely love it, and highly recommend that movie also, Samurai Champloo. So,
Nice.
but yeah, and then there's a third one in there. I can't quite
It's
remember
called
what
yeah
it was.
Mike mode. I didn't.
Okay,
So Mike something Mike is the director's name, and they
I
described
think
it
it's the
as
director
having.
of 12 Samurais. Is
I
that
think
what
you're
it
right.
was?
I think you're
Yeah,
right. It was a
it's like
number and samurais.
zoomed in a little bit closer with like muddier and like bigger blood splats. I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck yeah,
and it almost
that
looked like
looks
the
awesome.
colors looked a little more like saturated almost too. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if that was a thing, but yeah, I think that's really cool. Like I kind of expected the Kurosawa mode, but when they got to that point in the showcase and they're like different modes, I was like, okay, like what are we gonna really show here? But I was like kind of
I
surprised
was like, this
that
is
these
where
kind of just
Legends comes in. That's what I was waiting
yeah,
for.
yeah, I thought that too. But like have these different vibes is a really cool thing. I want to see more games rip that off because I think a lot of games kind of looked at like, oh, the wind mechanic in Ghost is so cool, and I hope more
Mm-hmm.
look at this and just having like even if it's janky little filters and it's not much difference, bring it on, please. Like I'm sure you got the things in your engine to like crank up the blood, crank up the change the visuals in like little minor ways here or there. I think that's just like a fun thing to do because I don't know if I'll do it like initially. That might be something when I'm in later hours when I'm crushing out trophies when I'm
Yeah.
roaming around the wild doing side quest stuff. That might be the time to put on those modes. But I think that's just a really cool idea. And yeah, it gives people a kind of different flavor. And obviously, it's I'm not really nostalgic for those movies, there's those directors, but I think for people who are, that's an extremely cool thing to be able to like tone it how they prefer that content.
It's so funny. I had a buddy I used to work with. We were comparing notes. First time we were playing Ghost of Tsushima, and as you were just talking about how like you would enable Kurosawa mode later on, or whatever other mode, and that's definitely something I would do. Also, the one thing I did do is I started with the Japanese voices because I just wanted to jump in there, and I'm definitely gonna do that again. That one scene sold me. But this man, I can't remember his name now. I apologize, but he started the game with the Kurosawa mode on, so he played the whole game in black and white.
Crazy.
And we were talking about gameplay, and he's like, "Yeah, there's just like I don't understand. There's certain enemies that come up, they go for a swing, and I do the parry, and no matter what I do, like they just hit me every time. And I'm like, oh well, is it like a red target? Because you can't block those. Like those are the ones you got. Like that's like a heavy strike. You got to dodge it. And he's like, what? He's like, no, they're gray. They're all the same color.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my god, dude. Okay, you got to turn off Kurosawa mode and like at
That
least
seems
get.
like that seems like a fuck up on their end. That there's no
I
way
agree.
around
I agree.
that. Like,
Yeah.
I hope they fix that this time around. That's so weird.
Yeah, it did look like they added a few more color changes to like the gameplay. Of course, there's like disarming now, which look really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's like a gold something on their weapon. But yeah, that especially like you want to get immersed if you're playing those modes, and then unfortunately if the gameplay is just preventing you, like I guess if you play it so much, you'll maybe be able to look for the windups on what is an unblockable strike.
Yeah,
But
you got to be
I
an
don't know.
expert at that point.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Speaking of immersion, I think that's one of the great things about Ghost of Tsushima, obviously like the beauty of the world, but like having the wind mechanic was such a great way to guide you to your different locations. And I think they've added kind of three things that I think will add this just really good cycle loop of you just being given things to do, suggestions on what to do, and it kind of it being contextualized within the world will make it more immersive as well. So one of which is like the addition of bounties. So when you go to different towns and whatnot, you can pick up bounties, and that'll give you targets. I'm guessing that'll like sometimes lead you to a camp. Maybe it'll be I don't know if it'll be like Skyrim in that it's like Radiant Questy, where it'll kind of infinitely provide you bounty options. So you always have something to do even when you've kind of completed all the quests. Not sure exactly how this is going to work, if it's like procedurally generated or just set areas. They also talk about how like your character has a bounty on her head. I don't know if that'll actually be a thing where like people hunting you down randomly. Like I feel like only when you go to certain areas is when you're gonna get into combat. But I don't know. Maybe people are coming after you to get the bounty, and you'll just get random quests or random attacks thrown on you at like points you would least expect it, which could be interesting. There was
Hmm.
one which is the cartographer is a character that you can either encounter at your camp or like in towns, I guess, and you can like buy little map fragments or like little clues, almost like X marks the spot type thing, where you get like a little square and you have to like go on the map and like find where like, ooh, where does this fork in the road line up, and then like put that there, and that'll like hint you to where a treasure thing is. I think that seems like a fun little goofy thing. And then the like once you've I guess cleared a camp or won a fight, you can interrogate enemies, and then you can get a certain type of information from them. They said there's three different types of them. I think they only explain like two of them, and they'll kind of just lead you to different types of experiences depending on what you're looking for, maybe in that moment, or what you need to level up, or what you need to get this next skill point, that kind of thing. And so I think all those things will just feed into each other in a nice way. Of one, if you already didn't know what you were going to do next, obviously this is a game that has just littered with icons everywhere and stuff to do. But if you, I don't know, I think this will maybe just more naturally create a flow of like things to do, or send you off, or give you clues to things. Or if if you're just someone who hunts down the main story, you're just going to do that anyway. But I think that, like, that stuff seems like a really fun bit of addition, and I think it kind of connects nicely with the wind system that I'm sure they kind of hinted at. They didn't really like show it here because they didn't really have to showcase it because it's not changing, but they kind of hinted at it, and so I think all those things are gonna feed into each other and back into each other in a really nice way. It seems like they didn't just rest on their laurels. They're like, how can we evolve this system of like
Yeah.
getting players to the next location in an interesting way that, like, I don't know, tickles their brain in a nice way.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think when I can't even remember how they described it in the video, but it's just establishing how there's like different things to do for the story, more focused people, or the exploration, things like that. And it seems like they kind of like the way you acquire them might be similar, but just like how you go about it is really dependent on your play style. And initially, I'm like, okay, that seems kind of gimmicky. Like, okay, like I'm sure it'll be pretty streamlined when you're playing it, where it's not that complicated. It's like, okay, no, this is the main story icon, just go here. But then as it kept going along, and when they're really showing like just the open nature of the world, and how one thing can just lead into this avenue, and you just kind of go down this rabbit hole, but it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm in a completely wrong area of the world right now. It just seems like, oh, this is just the way that I'm bouncing around the world. And I don't really see this as a game that's going to be having like a lot of replayability in the sense of going back and like, this character died because I made this decision. It's just like a
Right.
matter of like, I
Right.
got there maybe a little bit later than you did, but we all kind of crossed the same. We all checked the same boxes by the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. But I don't think that's really a bad thing because of how they showcase it here, where you have the tools to basically go how you want to go about it, but you don't have to do that. You can just kind of wander around. There's no Majora's Mask time limit on on getting things done. Like, you can kind of just get
Mm-hmm.
lost in the world, and that, I don't know, it looks beautiful. And when the world looks as gorgeous as this one does, like, that's kind of what you want, is to be able to just get lost. And yeah, no, I liked how they explained it, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then so I guess drifting over into combat a little bit more. So yeah, they showed off that there's 5 main weapon types. There's the katana, which was kind of like the same weapon as the first game, spear, dual swords, the Aceragama, which is pretty much like a ball and chain type weapon, and then the Odachi, which is like the long sword. So one thing I wanted to ask you about, because I didn't really like mention this in the thing, is like, do they kind of remove stances in favor of having different weapon types? Because that was a big part of the first game, and I think you got 4 stances in the end, right? There was like the water stance, which is like really quick. There was like a more power stance. Maybe there was a ghost stance and like a balanced one. I forget what they were all called, but that was a big part of the combat, is like switching between your stances depending on what your enemies are, to like get an upper hand in the battle. And yeah, it seems like they've maybe kind of gotten rid of that in favor of like, well, now instead of 4 stances, you have, I guess, what is it, 6 weapon types, and like, you know, multi or range stuff as well. And that's how you're getting around, okay, this guy like blocks a lot, so I'm going to use this type of weapon, or this guy's really quick, kind of how do I get through that? Is that kind of the take that you had from it, or do you think we'll have stances and all these different weapon types, which seem to all have maybe their own moveset?
It is strange they didn't like focus that on being like, but we still have stances, you know, to go along with this. I think they still will. I think it's a big step down if they don't, just because, as I mentioned, like I want to maybe have the tools to just play the game how I want, but like I also still want to feel that immersion. And if I'm forced to like, I can only get through the shield if I use the Odachi or like this specific weapon, like, well, I only want to use dual swords. Like, come on, like this is the way I want to play the game, so I should be able to use 4 different stances with this one weapon. Like I shouldn't have to own like I shouldn't have to be forced in. Weird way to say that. I shouldn't be forced to use all the different weapons if I don't want it. If I don't want to go that route. So I think that would be kind of a shitty deal if you can't do that. The Neo series, like it has pretty much all these same weapon types also, and it has the all different stances to like no matter what weapon you take. So that's just like, I don't know. I feel like that's just the way it has to be. So
Yeah.
it just seems like they're going back in like generations if they just take away the stances, because I don't know. I really like them. It just added fluidity to the combat. So
yeah, and like what you're mentioning, you're like just pulling a rocket launcher out of your pocket. Like I don't know how that will work with this. Like, do you have one of each of these weapon types at all times in your pocket, and you can just kind of like switch between them? Because they also made a point of like how you'll be in combat and your weapon might just get like hit out of your hand, and then you're kind of disarmed, and you have to like pick something up, like almost like using improvised weapons. And so I wonder how frantic these battles are going to get, if that's the thing that's happening a lot, or if it's like, okay, my weapon got hit by my hand, but now I just whip out my Saragama, now I can just use that for a bit. Or if it's just like specialized things. 'Cause I feel like in this showcase, like they didn't really use the spear much as like an actual weapon. They kind of just like threw it at a guy, right? And then like the Saragama was almost just used as like a quick hook. Like I feel like we didn't really see full movesets of these things, so I don't know if they're just going to be like almost like a smash attack or something, where it's like
you did see them
Bros.
weapon wheel at one point. They like
Okay.
I think it's in the sequence where they throw the spear, they go up with their weapons, and then they're kind of blocking, and then they just like swap out to like pull out a spear, and that's when it looked like the rocket launcher comparison.
So yeah, I'm really curious to see how that balance works, and I think it could make the battles really like more frantic and fun. But I also feel like, I don't know, I feel like you're collecting your weapons. Like, are they gonna really knock one out of your hands and like falls off a cliff and you just lose the weapon for good? I would say probably not. Like I don't know, but maybe not. Maybe it will be kind of less tied to you having like one specific weapon, and instead you're kind of just Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild style, like just kind of picking up random stuff and using them. And they didn't mention like breakability or anything like that, but maybe it's the same idea of like, don't get it too attached to anything, just use what and given whatever the battle you're thrown into, like there'll be enough weapons around for you to pick up and use. But I like the idea of some of these weapons. Like some of them don't seem super engaging. Like the Odachi is just a longer sword.
Don't diss the Odachi. Come on now. That was my go-to in the Neo series. I absolutely love the Odachi. It was awesome.
Hey man, you can use that all you want. I'm a spear guy. I feel like not enough games have spears, but I also think not enough games have like fun spears. And so I hope, because like Dark Souls, Elden Ring have spears, but they're not very fun to use.
Yeah.
So I hope that this is a really good, fun feeling spear. The Saragama, I think I'm going to use a lot of that. Like just using it as like a hook too seems super fun. And then obviously like dual swords, that's great as well. But I think once again, all these weapon types, like this feeds really, really well into that eventual Legends mode. If I'm sure it will happen, but this just like makes the classes like really clear. Like this is the guy that uses the Odachi. This is the guy that uses the Saragama, and then like mix and match what the ranged weapons are. And then obviously they showed like 2 different types of bows. I'm guessing like short bow, long bow. And then they also showed like the rifle, which is. I'm curious. Like I feel like they didn't show a lot of the guns, which was like something in that initial reveal, and at least for me and a couple other people I know was like we're not really excited for guns. Like we don't want to use guns in Ghost of Tsushima. So I wonder if they held back on that, or if guns are really just quite a minor part of this game. But it seems like they are very slow and sluggish, and like you got to put the powder in and light the flint, and like you're not just like you obviously don't have like a Tommy gun or something like that. But it seems like they are pretty limited. But yeah, just mixing that, and then like obviously the kunai and the smoke bombs and all this stuff, like just has as much variety as the first game would have. But now we have like 5 different weapon types. So I'm really curious to see how much you can level that stuff up, and if there's different stances for the spear. Hell, fucking yeah, I'm so down for that. Like that seems like a fun level of detail. That if they do that for all 5 of the weapon types, I think that's really great. They've gone above and beyond.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I kind of hope that they go the more like you probably won't, but I kind of hope they go a little bit more in the Breath of the Wild route of like you can lose your weapon or durability or whatever it might be, and they can even include like I don't know, like a lost chest. You go back to your camp. It's like, hey, this is your weapon that you favorited or something like. So you don't lose
your battle. Like your horse went in like
or
something.
Yeah, exactly. The wind brought it back to you. They can make some lore.
The Tsushima wind. Yeah. They also talked about in the similar that we are going to be switching weapons. The enemies can do that too. So mid battle, homie might whip out an Adachi. Now you gotta kind of reinvent your style. And so I think that seems cool. That seems like you'll really have to, just like you did in the first game. You got to know the right stance to use, the right like kind of weapon or tool against like this certain enemy. So it seems like there'll be a lot of learning to be had. And I remember when I went back for the DLC of Ghost of Tsushima, which was like a few months later, I was so freaking lost, man. It's like, okay, I gotta hold right bumper, press this thing, let go of that, and like do a 180, and now I can like switch stands to this other weapon. Like it was really confusing, like all the buttons of it. And I'm sure now that there's even more weapon types, could get like pretty confusing. But I'm sure they'll layer things nicely. So once you're playing through the game, it'll make a lot of sense. They very quickly hinted at like the wolf, which we've seen before, but like a companion type wolf that will join you in combat at sometimes. We didn't see
a couple different companions, like one of them being the wolf, but they didn't. I don't think they really mentioned who those other companions could be. They might just be.
I think I missed
humans.
That. I must have missed that line of dialogue in there.
Yeah, it was right when they're showcasing the wolf, like right at the I think it's like the first thing they say, and then they go off about the wolf. But
I wonder if that's tied then to another thing that I thought was pretty cool is the wolf pack, which is what they call it, which is not to do with the actual wolf, but now all the upgrades and merchants and shops and I don't know, cosmetics, anything that you could do with upgrading your character seems like it's contextualized to a certain character in the world. So you might have like the textile guy, and he's the one who would like dye your clothes for you, or you have the weapon merchant who's going to give you your stuff, or you'll probably have like the spear expert, there's a Saragama expert, the bow expert, all these kind of things. And it's almost like this just this big screen, almost like a character select screen where you see all these people laid out and you can hover over them. And I don't know what that means exactly. I'm guessing it'll be like, oh, if you want to upgrade the Odachi, you got to do it from this guy, and he lives in this town if you forgot where he was, or it's like a traveling merchant, and you can invite him to your camp. I don't know exactly how all that works, but I think it's a really great idea, really great world building. It'll make these characters more memorable, too, to kind of contextualize all that stuff to a certain human rather than just being like a nameless shopkeeper and like, oh, yeah, what town was it that was selling that thing that I wanted to buy 5 hours ago that I can't remember? So I think it's a really cool, novel idea that I'm excited to see if it is really interesting in the game or if it ends up being a bit of a flop. But I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great addition to this game. That's one of like the quality of life upgrades that I feel like they're making, where it won't feel so tedious of being like, oh, now I got to go back and put 3 points into my sword or something like just fast traveling back to this location. Like if it's just like as it's called, the wolf pack. And yeah, no, I'm excited to meet these hopefully colorful characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they also showed the kind of similar or related to the wolf pack is like setting up camp. So now you'll set up, you'll get a little fire, a little tent, you and your horse will be chilling. And I think the first game was really great about downtime, right? Whether it's like going to like the hot spring stuff or like, chasing a little fox around a trail or something like that. Like the little moments of levity of downtime kind of take you out of the combat for a little bit were nice and peaceful and obviously mixed well with the beautiful setting. And now we kind of have that as well with the camp where you can cook food, which is a new thing. Merchants will come by your camp. I'm sure that's where they'll meet some new people. And I'm sure you can like upgrade skills or equipment or whatever as well. All that kind of fun stuff. So I like that. I can't tell if those are in bespoke areas, or if you can just like set up camp wherever you want, like Baldur's Gate 3 style, and it will like fill in where you would actually be set up for the night. But I think that's cool. I like it. I'm into it. Cooking, I'm down. I'm down to do some fishing, get some fish, and then cook them up. I don't know if you're doing that level of detail, but like you know what, I'm down. I'm down for that kind of thing.
I'm down.
And then there was a quick shot. It was like a frame, I feel like, where they showed off like what looked like a little board game you can play. And we've been talking about this recently.
Oh, I
missed
that.
Games within games, like your Gwents of the world or Wheels from Sea of Stars. Like I think Final Fantasy Rebirth had one of those. Horizon had one of those. Yeah, there was a little board game looking thing that was not in the first game. Obviously, in the first game, you had, once again, those fox challenges. You had like the bamboo chopping thing and a couple other ones that I can't remember. But yeah, I'm down for that too. If you're going like town to town, and like you can have this little board game thing that you can do. I'm always down for these little tavern game type things within an open world game. So that seems like a fun addition. But yeah, it was a really quick shot, so I couldn't get much of a vibe of what it actually is.
I'll be playing that guitar a lot. I was fluting it up in the first game,
okay,
so
nice.
I'll definitely be pulling the strings.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and then there is a controller and a console that are coming out with this. I gotta say, the controller, that is nasty. It looks
you didn't
like
it? The gold?
It looks like it just has like a dirt stain on it. Like it literally looks. I'm sorry to say, it looks like there's a shit stain on the controller.
That's fair.
It's disgusting.
It's no PS5 Spider-Man edition, Spider-Man 1 or 2. It's definitely one of the lesser ones. I feel like the initial like gold one for the PlayStation at least looked kind of cool, but yeah, it's late into the life cycle of the PlayStation to be buying a whole new console.
Anything we didn't mention yet from this showcase?
Yeah, when they're showcasing like the home area, I found it interesting. They mentioned with a touch of a button, you can or whatever the hell the terminology was. It seems like if you're in the home village area and you just hit R3 or L3, R3, whatever it is, you'll just go to like little version of our protagonist, and like I imagine it'll be transporting you back to that time, and like they didn't really spend a lot of time with it, but I assume you can just like interact with like people in the house, and I just thought that was really cool.
The past trailer that we
I missed that. I thought that's really cool because it basically just, if you watch like a really heart-wrenching cutscene 10 minutes into the game and then 40 hours later I'm still playing the game, and like if you just want to jump back and like have this conversation with a relative and you're like, oh yeah, this is who I'm avenging, you keep the fresh wound there, to help you on this revenge path. So I don't know, I just thought it was cool, and clearly I missed on the previous trailer. So
yeah, I'm curious to see how much that is mandatory, like to progress the story, like go to this place and then recall what happened when you were a kid, or if it's like for optional lore, filling in the detail things, like if you want more story bits kind of injected in there. But yeah, I think it's a cool idea. Obviously a big part of this is that you're like coming back to this place, right, and coming back for revenge, and so to kind of relive some of these moments of your childhood makes a lot of sense. I think Tsushima had like something kind of like that. It wasn't like kind of the same integration, but right, it wasn't like flashbacks or
I think it was just like when you're doing the main story, it would just trigger one of those events. And then, of course, that's how you did the tutorial, which I imagine it would be same thing here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, yeah, once again, that's coming out October 2nd. Sounds like someone, because I know Travis is on the fence, but I don't know if he's watched the showcase yet. But between the three of us, I'm sure someone will be playing it.
Yeah.
At the very least, hopefully multiple. And if Legends is in there, and well, I guess I don't want to play Legends alone. So if Legends and one of you or Travis picks it up, I'll be there for sure. Because this game looks great.
I'd be very surprised if they didn't do Legends again. It took a little while from the first game released for them to release Legends. I imagine it'll kind of be the same. I don't know, a little bit after they drop it there. Maybe they just gotta get the certain whatever together, whatever they got to do to get to make it rolling. But that'd be a bummer. 'Cause that was sweet, just a free DLC added, playing online with friends. That was lots of fun we had.
Yeah. Okay, cool. There you go. There's Ghost of Yotei. Yotei.
You got it.
Let's take our last ad break. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. We're going to talk a little bit about, I guess, backlogs, video game backlogs / wish list, whatever you want to call it here. I guess I wanted to ask you first, like, are you just vibes based? Like you just like, oh, I just want to play this game, and it kind of came to mind. I'll just go check it's there, or it's like, oh, a Steam sale's on. I'm gonna see what's cruising around. You find something, just buy it. Or do you have like a list? Are you keeping track of things? Do you have like, ooh, I know I want to play through this series or this game? Do you have a big wish list? Like, how do you keep track of the backlog / like the things that are coming out, or do you not at all and you just kind of just do what you do?
I'd say it's like 90% vibes when it comes to me.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, I mean, I just talked about pretty much games I've talked about before in the past that I just get into a vibe, whether it's YouTube algorithms, maybe I'm thinking about a certain sport and I just want to play that random sports game. You know, like when I was jumping into golf, I randomly booted up like PlayStation Plus had like a golf game in there, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I never play golf games, so let's just throw in there because I'm vibing with that topic, and I think that's 90% the way it goes. Other than that, it would be. I mean, I don't know if you call like friends based, vibes based, but like if I have a lot of friends that are like, yeah, we're gonna jump on and play this specific game, like of course that would be a driving factor. Or we're all gonna pick up this multiplayer game that's gonna be coming out, like that would be a driving factor. But that's not really planned or or anything. It's just, I guess, another vibe in and of itself. So yeah, 90% vibes, I would say, and then like random like drops. Of course, that would be something that is planned for, whether it's, you know, pre-download. That doesn't really happen so much these days just because there hasn't been a title that's really wrote me in there. And then of course I've also kind of toned it down on just certain things I was acquiring now that I have a, you know, big trip coming up. I'm trying to limit my spending there. So, and then in terms of like Steam, I feel like anytime there is a sale, I do go on there and I just kind of quickly peruse. I imagine Steam like works algorithm based also of like genres that you play. Like it'll just throw stuff on there. So there you go. Like
it's a mix of like its own curated across all of Steam, and then like specialized, personalized. Yeah.
So I didn't think all the Steam games I played are like strategy games, but like that's pretty much 90% of what it throws at me. So like I'll just see like a random strategy game and I'll have no idea what it is, but it looks interesting and I'll just wishlist it or something, or like, man, this looks really cool, or maybe games that aren't even out yet and it's just like, oh, this looks really interesting. So yeah, that's a little spoiler for what my wish list looks like. It is mostly strategy games, and yeah, would have been maybe, I don't know, looking at like similar games to what I've been playing on there. But yeah, usually I'll pop in on the Steam sales and not really buy things. Like I feel like it has to go through a couple filters before I drop coin on it. Of okay, this looks interesting. I probably won't be able to get to this, so let's just wish list for now. And then, you know, we'll see. There has been some things on my wish list that have just been there for a long time. I don't have it in my heart to take it off because it does still look enticing. And then some things are hardware based. It's like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this when I upgrade my computer. Maybe I'll acquire this game when we get there. So yeah,
what is a wish list if it's not just like absolutely covered in dust? Like it's got to be a bunch of old things that I'll never get purchased, but yeah, maybe one day when it goes.
Probably year one of me having a Steam account, I wish list one of these games, and it's been on there ever since.
Yeah, for me, man, it's a complete mess, but honestly, it's like a perfect mess. Like I know it's like if you
surprising to me.
It's like if you go to like a hoarder's house and it's like, you know, just a complete mess, stuff everywhere. But you ask them like, hey, where is this? Like, where are the sunglasses? And they know it's like, oh, it's like under these 3 pillows, like under the stack of papers. Like I know where this thing is. I feel like that's kind of where it.
That makes more sense. I was gonna say, I feel like you're so like structured. Like you have, you know, you're a killer with your Excel spreadsheets, your whatever it is, Google Docs, whatever it is you're using. I just feel like you have spreadsheets for everything. So yeah, when you say it's a mess, that surprised me. But yeah, there you go. Everything has its place, even though it's a mess.
It's a mess in that there isn't one spot that has everything, and there's kind of like different vibes based on whatnot, right? So obviously, like I do have a Steam wish list where I'm constantly adding things, and like most, like just to boil everything down, most like weird indie games will like be on Steam at the very least. Like usually like Steam and PlayStation, Steam and Switch, but like or just Steam. And so Steam is kind of the place to go. And so whenever I hear about a weird game, so I'm like, and whether it's like on Reddit, I'm on all sorts of like indie game subreddits and stuff, and I'll see interesting games on there. So I'll go wish list that thing. If a thing looks halfway interesting, I'll just put it on the wish list because who knows? Maybe that way I'll remember it now. I remember that it exists. And anytime I get a recommendation or something like that, I'll put it on there. So my Steam wish list has over 300 games on it right now.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty big. It's got a lot of stuff on there. But once again, covered in dust. How many of those things am I going to buy? I don't know, but maybe one day I'll buy this game that I've seen on sale so many times now, but we're just waiting for the right moment, I guess. But then I also probably have 30, 40 things wish list on Switch. less on the Xbox and PlayStation. I usually keep those for like what are the exclusive things or what are the things that I specifically want to play on these platforms for whatever reason. So obviously like the PlayStation exclusives would go on there, or like maybe certain DLCs for a game that's on Game Pass. I don't know, things like that. So those lists are smaller. Of course, as you mentioned, I do have my Google Sheet, which has all sorts of things on there. I don't really keep just like a list of backlog games on there. Really, what it is I'm keeping track of the games I've played in a year for the game of the year type things. I have like my little calendar on there so I can say like what are the games coming out in the next couple months, and usually that is like charted out for the full year, and I'm filling things in that way. That helps me as well planning like on this week of Sidequest.
Right.
3 months from now, who do I want to put as the co-host? Oh, Kirklin will be a good person to talk to about this thing. Or, oh, Travis is picking up Donkey Kong. Got to make sure I put him on that week, that kind of thing. And so that helps me keep track there. But then I think maybe the most condensed, boiled down, like specialized place is backloggd.com, which I've been using for a few years now. And on there, they kind of split it out. So there's wish list and there's backlog. And wish lists are, for me, it can be up to how you want. I know Cocktail Clay, he uses backlog, and I don't know what his rhyme or reason is for what's on a wish list or what's on a backlog. It makes no sense for me. I asked him once, and I was like, "You do you, man. You can organize however you want." For me, wish list is like this is a game that is not out yet. It's not in existence other than maybe early access things. I might, if it's in early access right now, but it's not 1.0, I might leave it in the wish list category. And then the backlog are like, what are games or series that I really want to play at some point in my life. And so this isn't necessarily on any wish list on any store, but it's there because I know like, oh, I want to play like Mother 3 at some point. I just don't know when or how I'm going to do that. But it doesn't have everything. Like obviously all 300 games that I have a wish list on Steam are not all documented on Backloggd. So I don't know what in my head, like I said, it makes perfect sense. I know where things are, where they should be. But even then, obviously 300 games on Steam, I couldn't tell you what all those are. I'm just like, I go through that wish list sometimes. I'm like, oh, I forgot about this game. Good thing I made a note of it, or else I would totally forget about it. So it's kind of a big mess. I would say if anyone like Backlog is great because it is public. You can go to my page Rapatika and you can see the things I have on there, and that is like a very good condensed list. That doesn't mean I'm gonna buy every one of those games, but I think it is a more curated version than like the insane amount of things I just wish list on these storefronts, just waiting for the right sale. Like since the Switch or since Skyrim has been on the Switch, I've had it wish listed. I don't know if I'll ever actually buy it. It's had some pretty deep discounts, but maybe one day I'll be like, oh yeah, it's time to finally get Skyrim on the Switch and play it when it's $10 or something like that. So there's a lot of those as well. It's like I already own this game, but I'm gonna wishlist it here because I want to play it on a different platform or something like that. So yeah, it is a big spiderweb mess, but it's a mess that I think I keep clean somehow. I keep it tidy even if it's a big mess. So. Yeah, I kind of have a good idea of things. But yeah, it's a lot of games with backlog, a lot of games on the wish list. There's so many things, and that's where I kind of got to pick and choose my battles. What do I actually want to play? And then oftentimes it's like, well, I'm just going to go play another game in UFO 50 I haven't played yet. That's what's great for me. It's one game on the list, but it counts for 50, so it's a great way to organize things. But yeah, do you want to go ahead and share your screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we can take a look at the games you currently have on your Steam wish list, because when you mentioned the number, it's way lower than I would have expected for.
I haven't added to it in a little while. Also, I must add, and like I have purchased games off of it, so it's take that how you will. Okay, you can see my screen now, right?
Sure can.
All right, wish list. Starting at the top, we got the great Starship Troopers Terran Command, which is currently 45% off. This is an RTS game. Taylor and I were really hyped on this game. Here, I'll pull it up, I guess.
Yeah, pull it up.
Since I'm talking, but bear with me. My computer might just break too by me doing this. But Taylor and I got really hyped on this game because it's we both love Starship Troopers. Look at that gameplay. Like that looks gorgeous. Kind of looks like Halo Wars, but Starship Troopers. Very positive reviews. But it's a single player game. Like this is just spitting multiplayer experience to me. I'm sure it's like a campaign, like very linear story that you play through. I imagine they would have some like custom matches and stuff in there, but I don't know. It just looks like a game that I played many times, whether it's Command and Conquer series or it even looks like Dune Awakening, which is the next game on my wish list. Or not Awakening. Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Spice Wars.
Spice Wars. There you go. That's the MMO, isn't it?
So
Dune Awakening?
Slytherin publisher. That's the publisher. I've never heard of that publisher in my life. Can you click on their Slytherin publisher sale, unless it's going to
Yeah,
crash
yeah,
the
yeah.
computer. But
I
I'm
didn't
curious
even
what
notice
games.
that was the sale. Okay,
Okay.
Field of Glory 2.
Weird.
There you go. A
Okay,
lot of RTS bundles.
okay, this is so weird. I just saw a bunch of these games talked about. Because look at that Battlestar Galactica game. Go up there.
Oh yeah.
See the price on that bad boy?
$0.
100% sale. I saw someone on Steam recommending these games. There must be some weird algorithm thing. Literally, these 3 games, I saw them all. That's so funny. I didn't even clock that being the publisher name. But for some reason, this publisher a bunch of their games are
I've never
just
seen that before.
for free right now. And I honestly, I saw that. I'm like, oh, cool, free games. I'm going to go add this to my Steam library. Clicked on the pages. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to put this in my library. Like, I'm not ever going to play this game. Even though it's free, this one's not even going on the wish list. It's just,
That's hilarious.
it's just not for me. But wow, what a weird connection, because I just saw that those games existed a few days ago for the first time.
There it is. Turn Command. What's the other
It's
game?
weird.
Terminator
Like
Dark Fate.
the capsule art for Starship Troopers is a weird choice, because it doesn't really make me think of what the game actually is like. So that's an interesting choice. But yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this game before.
Yeah, no. So it came out June 16th. I had wishlist this 2022. I wishlist this before it even came out. So I was like really hyped for this game actually. And then
You were there.
lo and behold, it single player only. So bit of a
Okay.
bummer there, but can't win them all.
Now,
I
do
still have it
you-
on there.
Do you rank this list at all? Because that is a feature.
No,
Yeah.
I've never ranked this.
I
This,
used
this
to
would
for a
be
while,
order
and
I've
then when I-
added things.
Yeah, I used to, and then it got to be so many games. I'm like, this is not sustainable.
Yeah, that's fair. And then next, of course, I got Dune Spice Wars.
Nice.
Yeah, you know this game. The other thing I will say I like about the wish list, which is probably overwhelming for you with 300 games, but I get emails when these games go on sale, so like it's a little heads up there. I don't know what your inbox looks like with your
I'm getting
300
emails
games.
at least twice
Yeah.
a week for sure. yeah. I think it's when a game is 20% off or more is when
Okay.
when it will get sent an email. So that's why, once again, before Potion Problem came out, I was asking everyone to wish list the game, please, and still do, because when the game goes 20% off or more, you will get emailed. Or when a game releases 1.0 for the first time, you'll get emailed as well. So that's why it's good to wish list games. Helps developers out. And once again, maybe you never play these games, but you might eventually. And the wish list number helping the algorithm as well. So it's good to wish list games that you think are cool or care about.
Absolutely. Costs nothing, and you can have it for life.
And in some case, there's games that also cost nothing from the Slytherin publisher collective.
Cool name. I like Slytherin.
Slytherin.
So yeah, Dune Spice Wars. I do want to get this eventually, but like again, it's I don't know. I don't want to bog down my system too much. I got really hyped with Age of Mythology Retold that I just wasn't able to play, and I literally had to refund that. So that was a big.
I think
hit.
Spice Wars would run because this, not the biggest visual powerhouse is.
I'm sure it would right now. $46 though. You know, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for that.
I've not played the game since it came out, which was about 2 years ago now, I guess, or it might have been even earlier because I think I got it in early access. So yeah, it's been a while since I've played Spice Wars, so I should give that a re-download and get back in there.
Nice. And then the third game on my list, which is also the third RTS on my list, is Last Train Home, which I discovered this game with you present. I believe it was we were going over a showcase or something, and this game was shown off.
I remember that.
And,
I think it might be on my list.
Really cool looking game. Good reviews. I didn't realize it like kind of follows like a a set story. Like it's not just here's your train, like make it survive. Like it actually is based off of some wartime event or something or rather. And yeah, I find it really interesting, but I know I'm not going to be able to get on it right away. It actually looks pretty beautiful too, so I'm concerned I might be bogged down. And another thing too with me in strategy games is like I don't want to just jump in there and like fumble my way around and like suck. I feel like I would want to prepare, okay, how do I actually like play this game? And like I feel like I want like a good time window for that. I don't want to just like boot it up. Okay, I got 30 minutes to try and learn this. Like I want to be able to be like, okay, I want to fully immerse myself. And I mean, right now, Total War's taking that train home.
Taking that train home. Yeah,
but
man, when I see that screenshot of just like inside the train and you can like have a table and there's like guys eating dinner at a table next to some guys on a cot, like
totally.
That's the perfect amount of management. I love that. That is like the
Yeah.
level of detail I want to see. Yeah, this one's also on my wish list. I think this game looks great, and I've definitely seen it
Yeah.
go on sale a few times over the years. I've been emailed about it once or twice for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And looks like the gameplay is pretty tactics based. It says real time tactics, but yeah, no, looks sweet. One day. Sitting at 40
Yeah.
bucks right now. No sale. Next game on my wish list is Valkyrie Saga, which is not an RTS game. And
I
release
do
date
not know
is
what this game is.
to be announced. I don't even know what this game is. It looks very pseudo regalia.
Okay. I think you
Yeah.
maybe were telling me about this game at one point in time.
It's not released, but it looks exactly like pseudo regalia.
I'm surprised this
that's
is on
kinda
your
funny.
Steam wish list. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know why this is on here. I might have misclicked it. And like, how long has it been on here? It's release date to be announced. This is strange.
Are you gonna remove this, or is this staying on the wish list?
I'm gonna keep it. I'm
Okay.
gonna keep it. Why not? It looks kind of
And
cool.
when it comes out and you inevitably buy it, let me know. It is, yeah, apparently similar to Pseudo Regalia, which it says there on the side. So, yeah, cool.
Wow.
Valkyrie Saga. There you go.
I never heard of that till now. I added it on 2024. What was that? April 15th.
Close to 420. Maybe you were a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, I was cooked out of my brain. adding games to my list. Who knows? All right. Next one on my list. Back to the RTS. This is one that I am gonna have to wait until I get a better computer. There's no way my computer can run Sins of a Solar Empire. Shouts out to Taylor Field. He absolutely loves the first game. I don't even think the first game would run on my computer, man. But this, like,
Gorgeous.
it's funny. I feel like as long as I've known Taylor, I've known about this game because, like, I remember back at the Target days, him and I like talking about Sins of a Solar Empire because I think he had played it and I had like just heard about it and I just never bought it for whatever reason. And yeah, no, I just love the large scale, like massive large scale where you just have like thousands of ships going to whatever destinations on the other side of the galaxy is just enticing me. Of course, you know, Star Wars fan, but yeah. Mostly positive. I guess all reviews are very positive, but yeah, definitely one. I'm not gonna say I'm definitely gonna get, but definitely one I want to get. But
yeah,
gotta upgrade the system, and then when I upgrade my system, I'm just gonna be jumping into Warhammer 3. So
yeah,
let's be
true.
honest.
Which, speaking of Warhammer, I see your hour count over there because this is similar to Warhammer. You are 1 hour from 1,000 hours in Warhammer 3.
Oh yeah,
which is a very
That's
fun
hilarious.
number to be at, and you're
999.
almost 1,200 in Warhammer 2, which is.
And they're
I
basically
know
the
you've
three.
played these games a lot, but that's more than I thought. That's great. I love it.
They are my most played games on. I think it's followed by Skyrim, which is just fitting. It goes Warhammer 2, Warhammer 3,
Yeah,
and Skyrim.
that makes sense.
No Warhammer 1. I think I have like
Someday
9 minutes on
maybe-
Warhammer 1.
Someday maybe Sins of a Solar Empire 2.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? One that it probably won't be though is Crime Scene Cleaner,
Hell yeah.
which I mean, this just looks great. Let's be honest with ourselves. It looks so much fun. Is it multiplayer? No, single player.
Single player.
This is one I could see myself jumping in and having a great time with, but not for $29. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, I feel the same way. This game is on Game Pass right now, and I did play a couple levels of it, and didn't quite have the sauce to bring it up on Sidequest, I don't think, but
Okay.
it was super fun in those first couple hours, and I do want to get back to it at some point. It's a good ass time. It's exactly what you expect. You're just slowly cleaning things, a little bit of narrative in there, you know, just seeing these crazy crime scenes, putting the furniture back in the right spot, cleaning up the fluids off the walls, finding hidden bodies in attics. It's you know, chucking bags of human body parts off a balcony down to your truck down below. It's exactly what we want from video games. It's perfect.
Yeah. You're basically just the wolf, right? From Pulp Fiction.
The guy even kind of looks like it in the capsule there. He's got the gray hair.
Harvey Keitel or whatever his name is.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's something to just doing chores in games that's just fun, you know? Just
it's true.
Working.
Yeah.
Okay. Crime Scene Cleaner.
There
Another
you
one
go.
that's not on sale. Okay, this is one that has been on here for, well, it says 2024. I thought it's been on here longer. It says all of these were added 2024, which is kind of sus. I feel like it kind of bugged out once. But yeah, have you ever heard of RimWorld?
Yes, and this is not, now that we're watching a quick trailer, but this is not what I thought the gameplay looked like. But man, this might be on my wish list too. I feel like I'm used to seeing this one around.
Yeah, it's funny that we're looking at this right now. I kind of assumed it was more like Starbound or like Terraria, or
Yeah, me too.
platformery versus top down. I mean, I must have looked at this game before, but sci-fi colony sim driven by an intelligent AI storyteller. What does that mean? Generate stories.
Okay, it was not on my wish list, but you know what? My list now has one more item on it.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna add RimWorld on my. Oh my god, there's DLCs out the wazoo too. I will say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there is. Look at that. It's like a Paradox game or something,
Mm-hmm.
or Total War game. This looks pretty cool. This is definitely one though where I'm like, you got to sink hours into this, and
Yeah,
I
it kind of
never
has the
quite
same
did.
aesthetic as prison.
Yeah, Prison
what-
Architect.
Prison Architect, which is a good time. I have the first
Yeah.
one of that. Yeah, might be the same developer. I don't know.
Ludion Studios. RimWorld. That's all
Oh.
they've done.
Fair enough.
Step your game up, Ludion.
Okay, what's next?
Next we got Siegebreaker. Look at
Ooh,
this. That's a good
nice.
sale too.
45% off.
50% off. Yeah, I gotta jump into this. Come on now. You've told me all about this. You've done an episode about it. Recommended by Rapatika.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Yep. Yeah. This game's made by a good friend of mine. Disclaimer: my name is in the credits of this game, but yeah, play it, buy it, buy it when it's not on sale, Kirklin. That's my goal for you.
To
'cause then,
support your
my friend with
comrade.
another.
That's fair. I mean, full price,
$6.
$12. That's basically come on. That's a
It's
discount
worth it.
price in and of itself.
I had like 20, 25 hours in, and that's after I'd done like multiple kind of demo
Yeah.
things for him as well. So yeah, it's like pretty lengthy campaign. Yeah, it's really good. Really good tower defense game. Unique.
I'll
tower
jump in
defense
there.
game.
I'll jump in there full price.
Music by
for the
the-
homies.
Great Amanda, who does the
Nice.
Sidequest theme. So there you go.
Shouts out to Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one. Tactical Breach Wizards.
Oh yeah, this game looks
Fuck yeah.
amazing.
This looks so amazing. I love everything about this. Have you played like Tactical Breach games before, like Door Breakers? I think it's called.
Ooh.
Or Door
a
Kickers.
name?
That's what it's called.
No, is that are you saying that's a genre or like that's a game? What a game? Is
No,
called?
there's a game called Door Kickers.
I've never heard of Door Kickers before.
Oh, I even have Door Kickers. So there you go. In library.
So that's kind of like a top-down version of the same thing.
top down. It's kind of hard because you have to like draw out the plan, like
Right.
step by step basis.
Dude,
Like you
hell
can
yeah.
kind of see it playing out. But I can't really remember what type of games, or sorry, the names of the games. But it was back on like Flash game era. They're top down essentially this, but like instead of it like you drawing out, like you would WASD and like with the mouse like draw you like go through the rooms and shoot people and stuff.
I remember
and
that game. Yeah.
yeah, dude, those games. Shouts out to those games. Those games were awesome. So this was like scratching the itch for that. I never really got good at like the drawing out of it, but just like setting up my crew with their different weapons. There you go. You can kind of see it there, leveling up your squad. Like I just love that. And then on when I was playing it, they have a hardcore mode. So when your guys die, it's like Fire Emblem. You lose your Jimmy, no, like you lose those guys, so you get attached to them. But yeah, no, there's a special place in my heart for these types of games for sure. And I mean, when you throw in like wizards, but like wizards with guns and stuff, like fuck yeah, man, this looks awesome.
Yeah, and this game finally did come out last year, and I heard amazing things about it. It's as good as you would expect, and that's like from people who like are in the genre. I heard those kind of thoughts from that. So I'm very excited to check this one out at some point. It's been on my wish list for years as well. But man, Door Kickers, that's on the wish list too now.
Nice. The second one is out now.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, this is exactly the aesthetic I love, and the super interesting gameplay style. Kind of a little John Wick Hexy to a little bit different, having a team versus a one guy, but same idea of like really planning out each move and thinking a few moves ahead. Really based on like like your vision cones and fog of war, that kind of thing. So cool. That's why I like doing this kind of stuff, man. We're discovering cool weird games. It's perfect.
That's awesome. One day we should just go through my games I have on here because I have many random games.
Yeah.
And
Or if you ever have 68 hours, we should go through my Steam wish
yeah,
list.
we'll go for your 300. I'm curious what's on there.
Your
in, like,
24-hour
different genres
stream
and
to
stuff.
go through
Yeah.
all 300.
Because mine are like pretty much all strategy games. Like there's a couple of randoms in here, but pretty much all strategy games. And keep it on that theme. We got Age of Wonders 4.
Oh, yeah.
Which, man, I wish I had a good rig for this game. This game, from what I've heard too, like it slaps. This game is fucking awesome. From what I've heard from comrades and gameplay and everything. And there's an Age of Wonders console version. I don't think it's Age of Wonders 4, but it is on the PlayStation catalog. And just to get an itch, I was curious about downloading it because it's like a mix of strategy, but then also like heroes and like customizing your characters, which is just such a great combo to me. Spellforce was very similar. I played a little bit of that game, not enough. I definitely want to jump back in that, but this just looks amazing. Yeah, looks really good and came out 2023, but I've only heard good things about it.
Yeah, I love this. Another game that I also have on my wish list, and I've been hovering over that add to cart button a few times for. Yeah, it looks great as a Civ fan. Like a fantasy Civ combination is just, unreal. So at some point, this is going to get it purchased and probably going to get a shit ton of hours put into it for sure.
Oh, for sure. So cool too. How you like choose your faction and then like that's what you go down customizing. I mean, I guess it's similar to Warhammer. Just yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay. Number 11. Shouts out to Carl who threw this game on my radar. Carl Ritchie, because I never heard of this game before, but he shouted out on After 9 once. They are billions, and I looked at gameplay and I'm like, God damn, this actually looks awesome. RTS game.
I love the art
colony
style.
building. Yeah. Kind of a boring video, but that's not what we judge it by, you know? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, art style's awesome.
Yeah, this once again also on the wish list of yours truly. We have a lot of similarities.
Taylor's on there too.
Oh, also on Taylor's. There are billions of us with this game on the wish list.
2019 game, but no, it looks awesome, and yeah, not much more to say. Next one is a game that I don't even really know about, but
okay, so this is another.
Oh man,
Thronefall, another tower defense game. This came out last year, and I heard amazing things about it. Great aesthetic, but yeah, really, really. I guess a tower defense game with kind of less determined like paths that most tower defense games have, such as Siegebreaker, for example. And this one's kind of more like almost like more horde mode-y in a way. So, but still has like the top-down view, and you actually have a character that runs around and does stuff. So, yeah, this game looks amazing. Another one that I'm really excited to pick up at some point.
You must have told me about this then.
I feel like anytime I hear about a cool tower defense game, I throw it on the radar.
I love the art style though, and I mean, I feel like we just talked about it, but it's reminding me of the Fat Princess game that I loved on the PS3, and but no, I love the art style. I like the different times of day too. Like it just totally changes the aesthetic. Well, I guess the aesthetic's the same, but like the color palettes is what's different, and just feeling those shadows. Yeah, it looks awesome. On sale right now, 50% off.
Hell yeah.
We're almost at the end of my list. We are at the end of my list. Schedule 1. What do I ended off? Early access game. I did not hear. Well, yeah, no. I feel like this game snuck up on me, but like, yeah, look at that. So many people on my friends list. Taylor wants this. You want this? What the heck? Everybody wants this game. Like, what is going on with Schedule 1? It looks amazing.
It blew
though.
up
Just like the multiplayer.
Year. It was all over the place. Yeah. Drug dealer simulator. Seems like a great goofy time. Yeah.
Like Minecraft too. I love the aesthetic too. It's like 3D South Park. But yeah, overwhelmingly positive too. You can't really beat those reviews.
It's true. You cannot.
That's so goofy. Yeah, so there's my super random wish list. Used to be bigger. I've definitely been knocking some games off of here. I feel like I pretty much keep them on here for life unless I buy the game. That's like the only way they get removed. Or I think there has been a couple titles that I've acquired on the PlayStation that I've removed on here because don't need to buy it twice. But yeah, no, only 13. Like I thought it was lower than this, but like man, when you tell me you have 300, I mean, there is a lot of games on Steam, but still, that's
Yeah, at some point I don't think it actually will take that. I think at some point when we have a zero topic episode, we can go through mine. I think that would be fun to see what kind of freaky things are on there. Can I make one suggestion that you should add to your list?
Yes.
I think you should put UFO 50 on your wish list, and when the price is right, I think you should scoop it. Is that going to ruin the vibes of your wish list? Because I know obviously you like to keep it sheer. You like to keep it lean. So I don't want to ruin the vibes of it, but I do feel like UFO 50 belongs on this wish list here.
What is going on here? It's not. Oh, there we go. I honestly forgot this was a PC game. I feel like it was just a Switch game in my mind.
It's only on PC right now, actually.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. You're not the only one on here that's played it. Smithy Q. This is actually the chap that was telling me about the Kurosawa mode.
Yeah, and he has a black and white picture for his Steam profile picture. He's really committed to the bit.
That's only fitting. 109 hours. He only has 6.2, or 6.8. So he definitely hasn't played all 50 titles, I'd say. But
for that amount of time, he's barely scratched the surface.
There you go. It's official. It's on there.
Great. You love to see it.
We did it together.
I'm scrolling through mine now, just trying to find things. Okay, I got another one for you. Go put in Ember Ward. One word. Ember. There you go. Yeah, that's the one.
Ooh,
so this is another tower defense game. Another tower defense game where you kind of use like Tetris-like blocks to create the paths at which the units are going to come down, and then you can like build your towers around that.
So you make the terrain first, and then you do the towers.
I'm guessing it's kind of like a collaborative process. I'm guessing every round you're getting like more blocks to put down, more towers you can put down.
It's on there. Wish list. This looks awesome.
Okay. Are you just doing that too because I am kind of
I'm gonna delete them right
breathing
away.
down your neck here?
No. I mean, that's how easy it is to get on my wish list. It's just you got to catch me in the right time. I feel like I have been holding off. Like I haven't added something in a little while, but there you go. Two fresh new games today. But I also haven't been perusing because I know I'm going to look at something and I'm like, this is awesome. It's only $4. Oh, let's add this. And then I won't play it. And it's like, could use that $4 at the 7-Eleven in Japan. So I'm just going to hold all my rupees.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking through here just to see if there's any last minute additions that should go on your list. But yeah, I'm sure there's plenty. But no, I'm glad we did that, and I don't know. It's fun to just hear people's different processes. I know I obviously more than most people try and pay attention to the amount of things that are coming out, weird, cool things, small things, big things, everything in between. So yeah, it's important for me to keep track of all this stuff because my brain cannot remember half these games. But I'm glad that I have them on a list somewhere to keep track of them all.
I couldn't even keep track of my 13. Now I have 15. That's like way more than I have to keep track now, but.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a great feature. I'm glad it's there. Like, I didn't even know I had Crypt of the Necrodance on here. I haven't even played it. That's insane.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not my not my preferred vibe, but it's pretty cool.
Oh, Tyler's played it. A couple hours. Very nice.
What would you say is the percentage of games on that you own that you haven't played yet on Steam?
That I haven't played.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through and actually calculate that, like, afterwards. Okay. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. I'm going to say, like, 30%, but it might be way more than that. I don't know. Like, it might be crazy, like 50. But, because, like, I used to do, I think it was Green Man Gaming. They used to do, like, random game bundles or something.
Sure.
Like $5 for, like, 15 games.
So that'll skew it for sure.
Yeah. Like, there was one in here. It's, like, Rock and Roll Tower Defense. I should probably play it and just talk about it, but I'm like, come on, that I'm not playing that.
So you don't have any categorization either. I'm noticing it's just one long list.
No, I didn't even know you could do that. Rock and Roll Defense. I've never played this game, but I got it as a random. So, look at that. Just a Rock and Roll Defense. If there's any hardcore Rock and Roll Defense players out there.
Yeah.
Community content.
Emo girl community content. Okay, cool. You can make categories. Like for me, for example, mine would be.
Is this stressing you out right now? Just seeing my.
It's not stressing me out. It's just like I need more structure in my life, or else like my brain will implode. But I have like roguelikes. I have like Bethesda. So that's just like where I put like all the Fallouts and Elder Scrolls, and then I have like I might have like Arcane, where I just put all the Arcane games in there, and then I have like strategy tactics games, or like I also just put games that I'm like. I forget what I call it, but I'm like, I'm not playing these. Like, I own these. They're in my library, but I'm not ever touching these. I'll just stick them in this tier over here so I can kind of brush them under the rug. And then you can, like, collapse and expand those lists. So you can kind of just have this stuff. And then most importantly, at the very top, my number one is the games that I'm currently playing or kind of have on the docket right now. And there's usually, like, 5 to 10 things in there that I'm not actively playing those things, but it's like, okay, games that I want to play next, or things that I have installed. That's where I always keep like Spelunky, UFO 50, the games that I'm gonna always kind of come back to. So I would recommend doing that, but you do you, man.
I'm more of an alphabetic guy, just A to Z, top to bottom.
You love the alphabet. What can you say? Yeah.
I love it. That's my list.
Ever since you were a young boy, you always loved the alphabet. That's what that's what the rumors say. Kirklin, this is a fun episode. It's been going on for a bit longer than I thought, and the light is fading from my room. The sun.
Oh yeah, look at
that.
I feel like I've collected your light. I feel like I've gotten brighter as we've gone on.
You've stolen it over time. This is a fun episode. Thank you for joining me. Next week's episode, believe it or not, will be about Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's finally coming out. One new game to the next. Death Stranding to Donkey Kong. It's going to be a good time here. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Farewell.